concert he does annually, which is called the Rapaholic concert.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
that explains so much about that man, Sarkodie. You can't hate him.
What's your favorite Sarkodie song?
In fact, I cannot give you, but when you play it, I'll tell you. That's one thing about it. When it comes to music, songs, and other things, I struggle to be able to put faces, put names to particular songs.
Okay, but when you hear the song,
yes, I'll tell you the one that I enjoy most. But he's one man that you can't take anything. When it comes to raps and all that, he set the standard,
Okay.
Happy belated birthday to the Rapaholic King, and that's how we call him.
Yes, the rap king, Sarkodie. Yes, so a belated happy birthday to him.
I think my first encounter with him was at the Supreme Court during the Food and Drugs Authority and then that celebrity's case.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was one of the celebrities who was following the kid, and he came to court, and in fact, it was a very nice experience having him in court and all that. So that was the first time that I came very close to the rap king. And to hear that he celebrated the birthday yesterday, we can only wish him well. The whole month is for him, so he should just enjoy.
Okay, he'll enjoy. So let's talk about the courts and what's happening in the courts today. So yesterday he told us that the case involving Oliver Barker-Vormawor and Kandapa will be called.
Yes.
So what happened?
And truly true. It was called yesterday before it was called at the Supreme Court. A 5-member panel of the Supreme Court yesterday sat, and one of the cases that they dealt with was the request from Oliver Barker-Vormawor to compel the National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, to disclose or to respond to some 17 questions that they were of the considered view that if that is answered, it will make the case, the defamation case, the 10 million defamation case at the High Court, very clear for the court to come to a determination that will be satisfactory. Now, the Apex Court looked at the argument made forth after lawyer Dr. Justice Ramsay, who led Vormawor, moved the motion, and same was opposed to by lawyers of Albert Kandapa, led by Bright Oshrejikum. They were of the considered view like, look, the question that they have listed, they didn't put specifications to document A or document B or document C. So the Supreme Court is saying that it is very difficult to ask Albert Kandapa to produce or provide those documents as the application sought to do. However, in the course of the argument, the lawyers indicated that yes, if they were obliged opportunity, they will be able to put specifics to all the documents that they want in discussion, audios, minutes, so that the court will be able to make such order. But a panel of 5, presided over by the Chief Justice, were Justice Mariama Owusu, Justice Samuel Etiedu, Justice Yaudakon Asari, and Justice A.J. Frimpong, all being justices of the Supreme Court, dismissed the request. And in fact, lawyers of Albert Kandapa wanted the court to award a cost of 50,000 Ghana cedis against Oliver Barker, but the Papers Court said no, we cannot give you any cost, any financial benefit in relation to this very case. So that request for cost was turned down. But of course, we've been interacting with Oliver Barker-Vormawor, whose case was yesterday dismissed, and he stated clearly how this whole issue came about. Let's listen to Oliver Barker-Vormawor.
I think that, we listened to the brilliant arguments of Justice Ramsay, a gentleman who is fit for the office of the Attorney General, I think, because this is a question which relates to whether or not an individual can use the laws that protect official function for his individual capacity. Our case has always been clear. Mr. Kandapa claimed that he was acting on behalf of the authority of the state when he offered me $1 million. He claimed that if I did not accept the money, that he was going to use official apparatus of the intelligence agencies to come after me and face the country. Our questions are clear. Did at any point the National Security Council authorize Mr. Kandapa to engage in any of the actions he has engaged in? One, persecuting me, one, offering me money. He refused to answer those questions, claiming official security. So if you come to the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to disclose that information, the Supreme Court says we should make reference to a particular document. This is the decisions of the National Security Council. Those decisions have a place how we record them. We record them in minutes. we record them in tape recorders, however we record them. So whether or not we resort to pedantism that bring a particular document, we can come back tomorrow and say all the minutes between 2021 and 2024, produce them. Any minutes that mention Oliver Bakavama, produce them. What have we achieved? So the purpose of this thing is for the court to be aware of the implications of what we are talking about. That an individual use the powers of the state for partisan purposes. That's what we are talking about. If the court says that we should enumerate minutes, we're going to do that. But the most important thing is that we are calling attention to why persons who are claiming to act in individual capacities should not use the laws we have to protect official function for private gain. That's what we are talking about. He has come out with his full chest that he has been defamed. We are claiming that, in fact, this happened, and you have claimed that you have authority from the National Security Council. Produce that. You are running back and now claiming that no, official secret, you can't disclose that. What can't you disclose? If he don't know what to disclose, how are we here? So that's the merit of it. Again, the Supreme Court says this is the second time this issue has arisen before them. So in many ways, we are all learning. Whether or not they made the right decision here or they didn't, posterity will tell us all. But the bottom line is that no individual is entitled to use the apparatus of the state for individual gain. That's it. Thank you.
So that is
Oliver Barker.
Yesterday, after the court dismissed his request, he has a message for Albert Kandapa and clearly was not happy with the decision of the Apex Court. But you have to come back and inform the High Court, and the High Court will make further directives as to how the case should progress before it. So that is what happened in relation to this case.
So what happened with Cecilia Dape's mates and the trial? What happened?
So yesterday was the day that Patience Botry, the 18-year-old first accused, and her lawyers were expected to move a motion before Justice Marie-Louise Simmons, Criminal Court 2, to ask for a certain document or compel the Office of the Special Prosecutor to furnish them with certain document that they felt that will help their case or help cross-examine the husband of Madame Cecilia Dapa, Mr. Daniel Osei-Kuffour, and then Madame Cecilia Dapa herself when she eventually mounted the witness box. But unfortunately, yesterday, Justice Marie Simmons, we are told that it's on a training session, and so yesterday's sitting had to be adjourned to the 17th of July. So the case yesterday, there was no show because the judge is on assignment, and that case has been adjourned to the 17th of July. If you look at all the 7 accused persons yesterday, at the time that the lawyers appeared to take a date, only the second accused person, Sarah A.J., who is in police custody, had arrived. We noticed that in this case, all the 7 accused persons have been granted bail, and all of them have been granted bail. However, they have not been able to meet or satisfy the bail conditions, so they are still in lawful custody. 6 of them are with the prison custody or the prisons, and then Sarah A.J., who is breastfeeding, is with the police. So that's how come yesterday he or she was present at the court at the time that the lawyers were taking date. But the remaining 6, as of the time that the date was being taken, they were not yet in, or the officers from prison hadn't brought them yet. So this case will come up again on the 17th of July.
On the 17th of July is when we're going to see it again. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Anas versus Nyantechi. What's up with that?
Very interesting. So this case it's getting to a stage where I remember at one of the sessions sometime in March, Justice Marie-Louise Simmons again made a point that if by the end of April or if by April prosecution or no progress has been made in relation to prosecution calling their first witness, the accused persons will be discharged. And prosecution is calling witnesses including Anas Arimiyao Anas, the investigative journalist. One of the things that the court said was that when Anas is coming to testify as a witness, he will be made to unmask to Nyantechi in chambers, but will come in open course to testify in mask. So every day, if he's appearing in court for 10 times, all the 10 occasions when he arrives, they will go into chambers, then he will go and uncover for Anas to Nyantechi to look at the face. Yeah, this is Anas. Then you come and sit in open court masked. Those in open court will not see his face. But he said no, that will injure his security. Already the state has withdrawn all the securities that he has. And so to come to court and do that for him is not, or he won't come. And so the prosecution is challenging that at the Court of Appeal. But for some time, they had an issue with the processes, the transfer of the processes to the Court of Appeal. So the day that the court was supposed to discharge the accused person, it came to the attention of the court the challenges that the processes were going through to be transferred to the Court of Appeal. But at one point, at the last court sitting, the court said yes. Now it is clear that the processes are ready. The docket or the whole document have been put together and was about to be taken to the Court of Appeal. So they wait for the outcome of the Court of Appeal decision. Then the court will know the decision to take in relation to whether to discharge Nyantechi or whether the Court of Appeal will ask that Anas come and testify without unmasking to Nyantechi. So yesterday, when the parties appeared, in fact, Kwesi Nyantechi, Abdullah Al-Hassan, both accused persons were present. But of course, the judge wasn't available because of the fact that he's on the training section. So the case has been adjourned to October 16. And Lantam, on the 31st of this month, today is 11th, so 20 days from now, including weekends. But of course, the court do not sit on weekends. So if you put all of July is ending, 31st of July, the judiciary, and in particular the Superior Court, the High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court, they are going on a 2-month legal vacation. So August, September, if you have a case at the High Court, or if you have a case pending, particularly the old cases that are pending, the chances are that you have to come back in October. So there will be some vacation courts that will be sitting, especially the High Court, and those cases will be dealing with fresh cases. And you notice that at some point is that when accused persons are on remand, at every 2 weeks, you need to bring them to the court for the court to ascertain how they are faring. Those cases will be, some of them will be handled by the vacation court, but nothing substantial. For instance, let's use the ambulance case, for instance. If the court is on vacation, that case automatically will pause. So,
until the court
resumes. Absolutely. So what is clear now is that after 31st of July, when the courts are on vacation, it means that nothing will happen in relation to this case. So they will come back in October 16 in the new legal year, which starts from October to next year, July. So that is why this case has taken a 3-month adjournment from yesterday, 10th of July, to the 16th of October.
Right. And it's interesting, that the legal vacation is coming up and, people's cases will be delayed and all of that. But it has to happen also. The legal vacation is necessary. But about some of the cases that we can expect in court today. Who is coming to court today? Men's Gold, number one?
Yes.
That case is in court today?
Yes. So, number one, yesterday when I came here, I told you that the court was expected to deliver a ruling in relation to submission of no case, whether the court was going to determine whether there is a prima facie evidence on the face of the evidence adduced by prosecution witnesses. In this case, prosecution called 9 witnesses. Initially, they said they were calling 11, but they look at it and notice that some of the testimonies will be similar in nature, so they reduced the number to 9. I beg your pardon. And they have closed their case now. So now the court will have to, and it is mandatory. It is mandatory for the court to make that determination as to whether there is a prima facie evidence or not. But of course, the accused persons and his lawyers will also have to submit, make arguments why they think that witnesses didn't make a case for the accused persons to answer. In fact, they had that done. Prosecution fiercely opposed to that and said they have been able to prove their case. So yesterday, Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapa, a justice of the Court of Appeal who is sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, was expected to deliver a ruling. And that ruling will mean that it's either Namwan goes free or he's made to open his defense. Yesterday, it didn't happen because of Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapa's engagement on the panel at the Court of Appeal. So today, It's been rescheduled to today. So today, we expect that to be done. And Namwan will know his fate as to whether he will be freed or he will be asked to open his defense. And the fact that the court is asking you to open your defense also do not mean that you are guilty. That is one thing that we need to be clear. The court
just still innocent until proven guilty.
The court want to have a fair understanding of ward the case before it make a determination. So today, number one will know whether there is a case or questions for him to answer, or
All right.
we'll go home free.
So what about the ambulance case? We're expecting that today too?
Yes. So Samed Sadasti, the representative of Big C General Tradings, the company of whom Mr. Jakpa was their local agent that led to the purchases of or that supplied the ambulances, is expected in court as the first defense witness for Mr. Richard Jakpa, businessman and third accused person. At the last court sitting, prosecution concluded their cross-examination of Mr. Jakpa. So what is clear now is that Mr. Jakpa will no longer be in the witness box. He's done. He's been discharged. But he said that he has some 8 witnesses to call. And out of the 8 witnesses, the first one is expected today in the person of the chief executive of Big C General Trading. So we expect that to happen today before Justice Efia Sewa Saribotwe. And Lantan, at the last sitting, we have been informed that this very witness will not be in court physically. So a link has been generated for him to testify via video link. So well, that is what we do expect today. But what is clear now is that Mr. Jakpa's first witness, the first of the 8, is expected in court today to testify.
Okay, and what other case are we expecting in court today? What other case? What other case are we
What other case do you think you should
What other
expect
case
today?
are we expecting in court today? What other
Yeah, your
case?
favorite case is coming up.
Oh,
Your favorite
which case is my favorite
Yes,
case now?
Side chick. Side chick is coming on. She said I should tell you.
Deborah Dabla.
Yeah, Deborah Sarah.
Your best friend.
It's your best friend now. Don't change the
Your best friend,
religion.
Deborah.
So
So you'll be talking
she
to
said
her.
I should tell you that you should not call her side chick.
But I don't
She's
call
not
her
a-
side chick. You are the
haven't
one
called
who's
her
calling it
particularly.
side
She
chick case.
called your name personally, but said, "Tell
That's not
Lantam."
true. That's not true.
It's true.
That's not true.
It's true. Say tell Lantam
That's
that
not true.
I am not a side chick. My name is Deborah Sarah Adabla.
But you are the one who
Former
calls the side
national-
chick case.
Or how do you control social media? You cannot.
She said she's not a side chick.
Yes, she said
No,
she's not a
she's
side
not.
chick. So
You know, a lot of people thought that case, was over.
it was over. Yes.
But there was a certain car in question, right?
Yes. So the court is still dealing with those issues, contempt, how officers went and invaded her home and all that. They say that the police did not do a good job, and so they were asking the police officers who went to the home to serve court processes on her, the bailiff in question and all that. So they were able to subpoena one of the investigators who is in court, and they have subjected him to scrutiny, and they are done. So it is the turn of Ernest Kwesini Makun to also scrutinize the witness. And the
Right.
witness in this case is a witness for the court. The court invited the person to come by way of a subpoena. So both parties will have the opportunity to engage him, just so they can also put their cases across. So that is what is expected to happen today before Justice John Bosco Nabarase. So this case will also come up today in court. So these are the cases that we do expect in court.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mutala Inusa.
Yes.
But before you go,
Yes, so my senior man, Noble James Kofi Mason, says I should tell you that he's been listening to you all the time. You should keep on doing a good job.
I'm humbled.
Yes.
I thank you very much,
Yes.
James. Thank you
Kofi
very much.
Mason. In fact, I'll tell you, he works at Terminal 3. Those of you who likes traveling outside.
Like you.
Yeah, like me.
Yes.
I'm not even across the, what do you call it, the Terminal 1, let alone Terminal 2 and 3. So
Oh.
he's in charge there. So anytime you are passing through, you can just look for Mr. James Mason and say hi to him.
So when you are jackpine. All right, thank you very much,
Thank you,
Mutala
Azar.
Inusa there with the latest from the courts. You're still listening to Star 103.5 FM, and this